Hello, welcome back to the last section of brand and media strategies. All right, I'm going to go over some things today, and then finally at the end, I'll talk about the food truck design because I want to get ahead of some people, ahead of the curve, because as you may have noticed, things are changing a little bit. Little less work every week is going to happen, just buttoning up projects, but I've seen stuff happen already. And so I want to correct it and make sure everybody's on the same page going forward. So first one, let's talk about your exports, PDF crop marks. All right, so when you have a file, I've got two files, not this one. Don't save. Let me open up Illustrator. I got this cool file right here about David Carson. I did it. It's got crop marks and everything. It's perfect. My template's laid out. I've got all my layers. This is just peachy. It's great. So when I go to File and Save As, I'm going to save on my computer. It doesn't really matter. And I go to PDF and I hit, actually I want to save it to the desktop. Save. Please, oh please, because some of you, I've already commented, are going to have to go back and make sure that this is not, you do not want that on. Use document bleeds. This needs to be turned off. I set up all the original files like a little puzzle. And as long as this is turned off, you should just be able to boop, plop it right in. Plop it right in where that letter is, you know, A, B, C, and D. If you leave this on, you got to monkey around with it. And I've seen crop marks show up already. So make sure that is not on. Okay. So you may have to go and reopen an old file. Yeah. Oh, take a 1 minute and open it. But I'm going to show you. Save PDF. There it is. No crop marks. It's the proper size. It's beauty. Let's see what happens the other way. So the other way, I want to go File, Save As. Save on my computer. I'm going to still save it as a PDF, save PDF, save PDF, save, replace. Now, if this is on, because sometimes it automatically turns it on when you create bleed, okay? That's why. Oh, why? You should always check these. You got to get in the professional field, like you always have to double check. Or when you hit save PDF and you see like, oh, my crop marks are here. That's not right. I need to close it, open it again, and save it again. Yeah, that's part of your job, not my job to remind you. Like you can't be sending, like if it's a proof with crop marks on it, you don't want to send that to the client because the first thing they're going to ask is, what are those things in the corner? Do those print? Is that part of the design? Why is that there? This is the wrong size. So a lot of stuff comes up. So it is your responsibility to make sure that when you do your PDF, it's to the page. So make sure that bleeds it cut off. And I'll do it in Illustrator as well. Illustrator is easier, actually. So you go File, Export, Print PDF, use file name. Let's save it to the desktop. Save. And again, high quality print range. Okay. View after export, marks and bleeds. This is not turned on, right? If you have that turned on, export, you will get more than you need to. And the crop marks didn't show up, but it's too far. It's too big. So then you go and open it, File, File, Export As. Great, great, great. Save. Replace. Marks and bleeds. Do not do that. Do not turn on the, that's how you do it in InDesign, turn on crop marks there. But we don't want them. Then we export that and it opens up and I can tell the distance here, this is correct. And then this would place right into that file. So you may have to go backwards and just re-save as, which don't worry, it gets into our project today. Now the other one you're gonna run into, white backgrounds. White backgrounds in which you didn't put white behind it. And it works in Illustrator. You have to put white behind it in as a different object. In InDesign, you don't. So here I did this thing where I exported the word test. I saved it as a PDF, just like you did. And as you can see, when you bring it in, because I didn't put white as a background, it comes in transparent. That's because the file itself, you didn't put in white. It's called artboard, you know, sometimes, and it's okay. Here, same thing. I brought in the same PDF into InDesign. Now, where it gets different is in InDesign, I can grab this and I should be able to hit fill, paper, and it will fill it with paper. Illustrator doesn't. So Illustrator, there's no way to get that to fill. So then you have to go and like make a new file, like make a new box behind it that's the exact size of that. I'm guessing. I don't know why I'm guessing at this. But then you have to turn this white. Make sure that object's in the back. And now if you put that over, I gotta grab them both. Object, arrange, bring the front. Now it will go over that black like it's like you did it on purpose. So I am, well, I know why it does that, because if you don't signify a color and use the artboard as it's white, you are literally not giving the computer information about the background. We view it as viewers as it's white on white, and it doesn't become a problem until we place our PDFs. And then you're like, oh, the PDF, quote unquote, doesn't have a background. So you can either go in and add the white background to your Illustrator file, or in Illustrator or InDesign, both. Or you can add the white, or in Illustrator, you can fill it. A bunch of different things happen for the way you export or save as PDFs to different files in different places. So you have to remember all those different things. I don't know why they don't have a universal for that. I wish Illustrator, you could just grab an image and do that background fill, but you can't. But then I found out in trying to figure that out that you can turn a black and white image in Illustrator to a single color image, like with one click. It's so great. So know that you're gonna need to make sure your crop marks are turned off, and somebody's gonna run into a problem where they place an image, and I'm gonna write back and be like, I see that there's no background white to block out what was behind it. So check your work before you upload it. It's important. Like, this is the stuff, like when it goes to a client and it looks like crap, they're going to be like, oh, well, maybe we won't hire this person anymore. Or when your art director sees it and they have to correct it, they'll be like, oh, well, looks like we got to maybe not give them good projects to work on because they're still learning the basics of stuff. Now, another one that came up and that will be good for, say you do an Instagram social media and it has 3 pages on an Illustrator document. Well, let's open up something similar to that in my downloads. Let me download. All right. I have this PDF. This is a PDF. It's got 32 pages to it. I want to put in page 7 and 9. All right. How the heck do I do that? What's the easiest way to do that? Well, let me show you. So I'm going to go to File, Place. Now there's something you can change. There's an item that you change. I want Downloads. I want Don't Do It. In here, right here, can you see what I'm circling? Show Import Options. Click on that and hit Place. So now it tells you what you can pick the page you want to import. So if I want to, what did I say, 7 and 9? I want page 7 out of this. I can hit OK. And then you can have all this other stuff, bounding button. So I'm going to hit OK, and it gets me 7. And then I go to File, Place, and how do I get 9? Same thing. Open this, Show Import Options, Place, and then I can do 9. Okay, boom. And these are now both the good PDFs, and that's how you get that second or third page. It works even better in InDesign. File, Place. I'm going to my downloads, go to this. And again, Show Import Options. Open. This one's even nicer because this one, if you can click all, or I can do a range. And so it's like easier for me to just be like 7-9. So it's going to import pages 7 to 9. I can preview it here, double check which pages I want in. 7 to 9, boom, hit OK. I get 1, 2, 3. All 3 pages, and then this is 8. I delete 8, and they are imported, and they are PDFs as they should be. So that's how you can import different pages from a multi-page PDF without having to tear it apart. Meaning, like, sit there and be like, I just want this single page in there, want a single page in there. So that's under Show Import Options, and it's a blessing in disguise. I use it quarterly. I use it a lot because when I take your stuff from your PDFs that you, and then we post them to the MATC social media, that's how I get all of your work. I just import from your PDF, I take it apart, take everything apart. So everything is take apartable when you do it. So again, make sure when you start doing your finals for brand and the media and the third one, I'm forgetting the name of it, a designer, and then your final one, which will be the, you'll be doing the same with the one sentence explorations, about psychology and design. That one will be your hardest because probably a ton of those you're going to come through and be like, oh, I have all white backgrounds. And if you do something funky in the background, you have to make sure it is not showing through. So, yep, make sure your crop marks, you're cropping correctly. Make sure you check your backgrounds. You now know how to import a multi-page PDF and just get the pages you want without having to sit there and only thinking you can get only the first page of the PDF. You can get every page. You just import it a little bit differently. That is wonderful. So talking about that, then I feel like this leads into a good talk on organization. Let me get my downloads. Oh, just 1 second. 1 second, please. All right, everybody always complain. It's the big thing to complain about time these days. Hey, never enough time, never enough time. Here's one way that upon seeing it, you will be like, good God, oh, wait, this is going to take me forever to do. And then you'll realize that forever in the front hand, 5 minutes of time, and it's actually even less because I'll show you a trick, is will save you hours of time trying to find your crap. So you should start to organize your files in a consistent manner that works for you. I worked at the company I worked at before coming here. They didn't have an organization system, and you'd be like, well, why do you need one? 1, you work faster. 2, we shared files. So somebody would be away, they'd be at a meeting, they go traveling to see a client. You would pass assignments around. Somebody else would work on it. You would have to find all their parts and pieces. So finally, it came down to this thing where we said, we need to organize. Everybody needs to organize in the same way. Everybody must make their file saving system the exact same way. So if somebody went on vacation, somebody was on a work trip, whatever it may be, and somebody else needed to pick up that file and work on it, we knew exactly where everything is. So like working files. So you would have like project A, working files. These are project A, part 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. All the files, like you just go in it. I know version 2 is newer than version 1, but we keep version 1 because the client always would be like, after a while, you'd get one and the client would be like, can we see before we made those changes, do you have that old one? So like we made sure we never saved over. You always save each version. And then it's proof to the client like, oh, just so you know, the cost went up because you exceeded 8 versions and we went up to 23 versions with you. Here are all the versions. You can see that we versioned them and these are the dates that we did them. Support files. These are all like, for me, this is all like the intricate working parts, like computer, like stuff I built in Illustrator that would be placed into the InDesign file, or, you know, like, or built an Illustrator to be placed in the Illustrator file. Sometimes I don't build everything in one spot. If you're like accents and all these little things, sometimes I just want to do them on a completely different file. So I'm not monkeying around in the final file and I don't leave little bits and pieces all over the place. So you have your support files. You have a place for images. All the images, anytime you grab an image, you place it in here. Or in research, you know, it's like one of these. You throw it in there. Where's the image? Again, download something from the internet, throw it in there. Download, you know, like take a screenshot, throw it in there. Wherever you get it, throw it in there. Make a photo in Photoshop, throw it in there. Like, you know where all your images for Project A are. You can clean up this shit later on, but it's good to like start doing this. And again, I'm going to show you a quick way to do it. Random files. This is like research random files. Like sometimes your client will send you a PDF or they'll send you a Word document, all this other malarkey that it's just random stuff. You just throw in the research. Instead of looking in your email, they sent me an email with this Word document that I got to open and something I deal with. Just throw it in the research. Throw it in there. You know where it is. Fonts. You're going to need to know your fonts. Especially if you're downloading from DaFont, you're downloading from here, there, the other place, you got to include your fonts. I always just include the fonts. I know what everybody's thinking. But InDesign, once you package it, it does everything. Yeah, that's InDesign when you're done and it's going to print. That's a whole different ball of wax. And then that's when you do your final here. You have it here. It's been approved. Then you make your final. And then you do your packaging here. And then what that does is it only packages what it needs and not all the extra crap. And then you're good to go. So you should start doing this. If you're not already, it will speed up your process. You may think like, oh, and then I got to do this each time? That's redunculous. No, you don't. Let's make one. So I'm going to create a new folder, Project A. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. Then I open that, new folder. And now, oh, if you number them, they will stay in order. So your files wanted to go in alphabetical order. Then they'll want to go by date. You know, like you can click on all these, but I always start mine with an 01 or 02, because if you do 1 and then 11 will come after that. It's really a messed up system. So always start with your low numbers with 0 in front of them, 2-digit moniker. It'll save you time. Support. And then I'll just only do in 3 folders. New folder. Images. All right, so this is just generic. So I'm going to go back out. I'm going to close that. Now I have this in both PC and on Mac. You can just make a copy of it. Should ask me about renaming it. There we go. There's Project A2. So then all I do is this. You rename it. Delete, delete. Project B. rename it. So what I would do at my work is I had this folder, and this was called like master, and a like master file. But when I open this one, and then I open this one, it has all the folders already in there, ready to go. I did it once. And then all you do is you take that master folder, you make a copy of it, and then you change the name of it. And then when you open it, boom, all your folders are already in there, ready to go. And yeah, I do this for everything. If we go to my Google Drive, shared drive, I don't have artwork in here, but I have MATC courses, and I opened them all for you. All of these. GRDS 103, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've removed one folder. Every one of my classes is basically set up exactly the same. So I know where are my lecture files, where are my supplements, where are the Blackboard support. Like I can just go to it and quickly get it done. Every one of my classes built the same way, and when I make changes, I change them all. So it will save you time. I know like some people like think that organization part is like such a bummer, but I've sat with you students, a bunch of you here and there. It's one a semester at least. And they're like, okay, I'm working on this file. And half my time is spent waiting for you guys to try and find where all the parts and pieces are. Some's in the trash, some's in the downloads, someone's on the desktop, or, it's like, just make a folder for the project and keep it all in one spot. It'll save you so much time and energy. So make sure you do that. Thank you. Just get used to it. Just do it once. Like, again, you got 5 seconds of downtime. Don't turn on whatever don't turn to your phone. Just be like, oh, I'm going to make a master. And then it'll change over time. This changes. It's not, once you do it, it's not done forever. You can be like, oh, you know what? I want to change the name of it. I want to change this, change that. Just change your master file and go with it. But do this. This will save you, like 10 minutes a day. That over time saves you a ton of time. So that way you just know, like, and then people have, you have it by class and a project A, project B, this, that, and the other. I do that. I mean, you see it when I open up my files too. I don't go crazy. I haven't gone crazy because I'm waiting for them to tell us that we can't do these folder systems anymore. But I use these, 103 is a good one. I don't know if I have any in design, but then I have it broken down even in the more folders and then the more folders. And so I know exactly where everything is, even within the base of InDesign in these projects, where I need to be able to transfer them, open them up here, open them at home, open them on the laptop. So start organizing a little better. It will do you a well. All right. So as I said, as you can see, I'm going to do a student preview. Looks better. We are down to our last 4 weeks. All right. We have week 13, week 14, a 1 week Thanksgiving break, then 15, then 16. So you are well over half done. And this is the wrong class. All right. Food truck design. Now, as you can see, you have your graphic design discovery final. Guess what's going to be next week? Guess what's going to be the next week? And guess what's going to be the final week? You'll have brand final, you'll have media final, and then you'll have every designer needs to know final. You're creating a giant poster with 15 of these. So you're down to the finals. So not a ton of extra design in here. You are almost, this is your last book reading to do. I think 18 through 34 is the last. There might be one more after that. Don't, but I think it's getting close to being done. You've done all of my tricks and tips. So there's no more of those either. So I wind down. I'm just letting you know, like my projects wind down. I know some other projects like this is the final project. We're going to wind up. We've got a lot to do. I wind down and I want you to spend the time on your final design. Food truck. These are fun. Something different. You get to design five sides of a truck. Front, back, driver's side, passenger side, roof. Sometimes these are seen from above. So, but before we get into it, basic, running it like we run every other project. You have a presentation template. I want you to set up the one that you start doing some research for it and start building on logos. Now, there's a bunch of names you can choose from, and it talks a little bit about it. And there's the name. Let's work on logos, right? Next week, next week or the week after, I'll provide the die line for the food truck exterior. But pick your favorite out of these. Now, much like I tried late kind of with the last one, is when you're doing your designs, think differently. Like, the first one, been there, done that. A cozy coffee snack truck with beans roasted to perfection and fun. Okay, great. Do this. Oh, I gotta move something over. Weird. What is it? Been there, done that? The name of it. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Okay, here it is. Coffee bean. That's a coffee bean, okay? Done. All right, you drew it. Get it out of your mind. Let's do a logo that doesn't include a coffee bean, maybe doesn't include a cup of coffee. You know, oh, been there, done that. You know, like, think differently. You know, that's what gets people's attention, is when something's out of the norm. So instead of just, what I need to do sometimes for myself is I do this. I do that. Been there, done that. Okay, what else could I do with it? And then I go through and I'm like, nope, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Push it. What can I push it? You know, like, then that's like if I was doing that one. Of course, you are only picking one of these, not all of them. Only do one of them. Choose a single name from the following, single, and do some, you know, here's the other one. Let's taco about it, you know, all right. So you need to get it out of your head. I'll do it. Spend some time on this one. That's a taco. All right, I made the sea a taco. Okay, great. Everybody can do that. Let's not do that. Let's do something different. Let's go out of the norm. Let's try, you know, all those crazy things that are so beyond what people would expect that they will be like, oh, I love that design. Like, that elevates that food truck beyond what it could normally be. They didn't do the standard, oh, I'm going to do, and please take this the right way. Like this one, I'll say that. I have a coffee food truck that has no beans on it and no coffee mugs on it, no splashes of coffee, like nothing of the standard stereotype that you would have. I'm going to do a taco truck, and it's going to have no skulls on it, no Mexican Day of the Dead flags, none of that. Let's try, you know, like, let's go beyond. Why do we have to always, like, pander to the lowest where we can elevate this, especially at this point in your careers. You're going to get so many things when the people come to you and they're going to tell you exactly what they want. Oh, Highway 1 burrito. I want it's going to be, thanks designer. This is what I want. I want an HWY. Move this over. Oh, shit. And then the one is the burrito. Isn't that funny? That's great. Like, okay, great. You put the name, like you're using an imagery of this in your design. Oh, great. Oh, that's so creative. Like, is it really that creative to just have the one be a burrito? No, I don't think it is. So I want you to really push beyond it. I would love to see your sketches of things that you do, of what you get rid of as well. It's a great practice to know, like, nope, okay, I did it. I got it out of my system. What's even better? And start to play with design and think about, as we talk, like, how can you work these things together? What's different? Okay, got bite me? Okay, I have a bee. I take a bite out of it, right? And then not do it. Here's a big bee, and then this bee has the teeth out of it. All right, done. One and done. We got rid of it. I got a bee with a bite out of it. I took a bite out of it. Okay, think of something different, something more unusual for it. Push. This is your final project. Push it. Push it, push it, push it. Don't just settle on that first one. And this is, somebody sent it in already. I think it's for week 12. Sorry, I have two different styluses. Every designer needs to know 13, I believe it was. There's a section that says sleep on it. You know what? Start a couple. Pick your name. Pick your favorite name. Heck, you know what? Push yourselves. Pick more than one name, but come out with a bunch of designs and just get rid of the obvious, and then start pushing to the less obvious, more design based, more like it's an experience you're building. So in the end, there's going to be the truck and other visuals that go with it, and people can read, and when the name kind of says it, so you don't need to maybe add all that extra crap that is obvious. Do I dare say like Apple does? I really don't like Apple. That's why I don't like to use Apple as an example. Where like Apple just doesn't always just show like, they're clean, they're sophisticated. People know about it. Once people know about it, and if you do something like a lot of these literally say what's in the name. But then if it doesn't, you can add that so easily, or it's on the menu. Oh, I don't know what that truck does. And you walk up and you see the menu. What is Bite Me? Is small bites? Bold bites with attitude, serving. Great. What does Bite Me? You go up closer and you read about it. And you're like, see the menu. What do they have? Ooh. Like we don't need to do that. So there you go. Any questions on the food truck? All right. I will let you know about Thursday morning. I'm going to start as we wind down as well. Unless I come up with something or I see stuff that's happening for like a Thursday tricks and tips, I will send you an email Thursday morning letting you know whether to check in or not with me. I'm always here. I'm not using that as an escape for myself, but I want you to use that time toward the end of the semester. Make sure you're getting everything in instead of necessarily logging in. So I am around. I will be sitting in this room still teaching other classes, but if you need to get a hold of me, so please do. But I will let you know Thursday morning if we're meeting Thursday. So you can check in and see what I got to talk about, and I'll let you know, like, oh, I got a few things to tell you about. So if not, the third thing, start to register for classes. Please register. You guys are far enough along. You know what you have to do and what you need to do in order to move on to the next courses. That's it. All right. You'll get an email from me, a message letting you know about Thursday. Good luck. Get this last project finished. Start working on your finals, your other final for brand. I can't remember which one is today. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. I'll be checking the discussion boards. I think I'm all checked in too. So I think it's all up to date. So if you had any questions so far, I've done them as of like an hour ago. So, all right, cool. Oh, wait, did I see a question? All right, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.